Alicia, Veterans Outreach of Pennsylvania says on any given night there are up to 35 veterans on the street without a home, and that needs to change. Today, cadets from the National Honor Guard Academy learned how to properly honor a fallen first responder. With the fourth largest veteran population in the United States, it looks like the farm show will have a bigger crowd than usual. Valerie, dial 988 and then press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line. It's simple to remember, but a new survey shows only 13% of respondents knew what it was for. Valerie, Alicia, recently sporting events at the high school and elementary level have been postponed due to referee shortages. But now one school district is trying to fix that. Valerie, the brick building has been closed since last month's fire. However, some vendors have been working from the courtyard, but maybe not for long. Taylor, Valerie, we actually just got word that it was another record year. The auction brought in over $1.1 million. All thanks to the generous community. Alicia, Valerie, the lack of donations could mean that an elective procedure is put on hold until hospitals have a bigger supply of blood.
It's not just the end of 2022, it's also the end, it is the end for the old sled works in Perry County, where people turned up for knickknacks and pop culture artifacts. Andre Thomas Jr. reports tonight.
It's a very, very bittersweet moment. I've been here since day one, when it first opened in April of 1991 as a vendor.
This antique and craft store has been open more than 30 years. For some, closing down just doesn't feel right.
It just speaks volumes for our little legacy over the last 32 years that people really don't want to see us close down, and they just had to come and get one last thing to remember us by.
The store was packed with shoppers searching for one last treasure and others grabbing a final moment in what's been a special place.
My brother's in from out of town, so we're going to go to Sledworks. It's just one of those places you got to see and do. And used to come up here and we get ice cream in the summertime with my daughter, and it's, yeah, I'm glad that I'm here now to see it one last time.
It's just, the customers are just fabulous. We've had customers coming for the past couple weeks just to say goodbye, and that just is so heartwarming.
The store will close at 5 p.m. New Year's Eve, but the building won't be sold, and those memories will live on. I'm Andre Thomas Jr., ABC 27 News.
Reacting to a major toxic train derailment like that one just over the Pennsylvania line in Ohio earlier this year is a nightmare for first responders. Today, some local responders met with Norfolk Southern to help prepare. Andre Thomas Jr. joins us from the newsroom. Andre.
Alicia, the derailment in Ohio showed how important it is for first responders to be ready in case disaster strikes. As Norfolk Southern keeps working to rebuild trust, it also is working to prepare emergency workers for the worst.
This is a real good way to get into the weeds with Norfolk Southern and actual train operators to work on their communications and what their safety protocols are, and it helps us to understand what they expect from us and vice versa.
Because if something goes wrong on a railroad, like it did when Norfolk Southern train derailed along the Ohio-Pennsylvania line earlier this year, there's no margin for error. Norfolk Southern has learned that lesson the hard way over the past 6 months and says it's doing everything it can to prevent another disaster.
It's our outreach program to make sure that we're staying connected and in touch with the first responders around our network. It's really important for firefighters to know how to get in touch with us and just understand those fundamental parts of the railroad, because it's not something that happens every day.
Organizers say the training builds on what first responders are already trained to do.
So it's not necessarily a new training or new information. It's how do you take your normal response and apply that to the railroad? How do you be safe around trains? How do you know that the train is safe to approach?
Even more importantly, because train derailments aren't all that rare.
Most of them are super minor. A lot of them happen stay on our property even, and don't even require a response from first responders.
Especially in Harrisburg, which sees a ton of train traffic.
Pennsylvania, we have a lot of railroads and rail yards, so it's real important, I think, for people to be prepared for those emergencies.
Norfolk Southern is making this training available in 22 different states where the railroad operates, and there is no cost to the first responders. In the newsroom, Andre Thomas Jr., ABC 27 News.
Childhood asthma interferes with all kinds of things kids like to do.
And that's why kids hit the court to find out how to manage it. Andre Thomas Jr. joins us now from our newsroom with more. Andre.
Valerie, Alicia, elementary and middle school students learned how to manage and understand asthma, but not in the classroom, on a basketball court with one of the Harlem Globetrotters.
We don't only teach the kids basketball, but we also teach them about important tips about health and trying to be a better person in life.
It's the 21st year for the program with the Mira Health Caritas Pennsylvania and Harlem Globetrotter Chris Handles Franklin. It raises awareness of respiratory illnesses through basketball.
So it's so important. I can't tell you how important it is that we show kids that the most important thing they can do for their health is to have a healthy heart and lungs, and you do that by eating well and exercising.
Kids mostly from rural areas, ages 3 to 18, are split into groups to complete a series of basketball drills and games before heading to a health presentation and health screening.
It's so important for our kids to know what it is to be healthy, on and off the field, on and off the court.
The Handles Foundation and Healthy Hoops travel the country annually to educate students about proper health practices. According to the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, Harrisburg ranks 7th in the United States for challenging places to live with asthma. And some feel right now is the perfect time to address it.
Understanding that there are things in the environment that are increasing the rates of asthma. And asthma is a very serious condition, but the most important thing is that if you diagnose it, you can control it and you can live a full and healthy life. And that's what we want our kids to take away from today.
And for Harrisburg native Chris Handles, it's about giving back.
There's nothing like giving back to your own community. And then we believe that it takes a village to give back. So we partner with different organizations, different leaders in the community to all pour into our kids in a positive way.
The Special Health Education Program is available to students and their families. Anyone located in the Central PA can sign up for workshops. We have a link at abc27.com. Live in the newsroom, Andre Thomas Jr., ABC 27 News.